You're listening to iLive Radio.
What's up, everybody? Good evening. This is Draya Ivy, and this is the Ivy Talks podcast. Hello, good evening. Reporting from South Florida, Miami. I know there's a discrepancy between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, so shout out to 305 and 954.
Amen.
Let me say hello to the two gentlemen in the room with me tonight. I have my lovely co-host, Lex-Roc.
Woo, 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 woo. Until the sound effects come in. What's good, everybody?
What's good? I know I did.
Ivy Talks, number 7.
Episode number 7. Shout out to iLive UK, my partners out in London and also in Toronto, iLiveRadio.com. Shout out to my production team over here, Minds Wide Open. What's good, Luke? How you doing?
I'm tremendous. Thank you for being here.
Tremendous. So, my new co-host.
Demon.
Introduce yourself a little bit.
Yo, what's up, everybody? You know, you tuning in. I'm Lex-Roc. We could touch on a lot of subjects here, but real quick, the history between Ivy and myself goes deep.
Ooh.
Brother and sister bond. Hey.
That's right. That's right.
And, you know, been through one another down thick and thin, so let's go and hear what we have to say.
Let's go in here and wow, you giving me introductions.
Yeah.
I'm flattered. You see that? That's love. Nothing but good vibes in the building. So, all right. Let's get to it. Music, something that we have deep in common, all of us in the building as creatives.
Yeah.
And where do we start, man?
So much out there right now. You know, with my thing, it's always with the hip hop, so I'm always checking out different things. I know you said Wale just dropped the album.
Wale did. It's called Wow, That's Crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Yes.
Can't believe he's
we're
still
gonna
here.
We're gonna get into the topic of MMG as a whole, and let's talk about his project. He recently did an interview even on The Breakfast Club, which was kind of erratic. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I haven't.
A little bit. Wale's public perception has always been a little questionable. But however, I'm a huge fan of his music.
His persona, like sexuality or his demeanor. I'm not really a Wale fan to follow up with him like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to get it twisted though. On a scale of 1 to 10, lyricism and you know, flow, I give him a 7. But on the 1 to 10 scale of me checking for his material, it's probably like a 3.
Okay, we're gonna get into that. But when I said persona, I meant Wale has had a bad track record in terms of dealing with the public. Yeah. You know, his interviews, his public outings, he's, I guess you could say, an introvert, and he says it a lot in his music. You can see it in his interviews, certain public spectacles that have occurred.
And those are the things I sort of seen that sort of make me, you know, like a little weary, like even on his own home front team with the whole Meek Mill thing and this and that. MMG. So, you know, I'm more Team Milk, Team Meek over here. So, you know what I mean? So, like, once that comes in, it's like you're always going to pick your favorite rapper to go with out the clique. You know?
You're saying you didn't hear the project?
Nah, I didn't. I probably won't. But, you know, if you guys played in the background, we can get it going on. But, you know, it's just...
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
His stuff is not really my flow to
It's really not crazy, though. That's the crazy thing about it.
You know? I heard, you know, the first 2 albums before. I heard the other thing he had, like, way back in the day before he got signed with MMG.
With Seinfeld?
Nike boots. Not even before that shit, you know what I mean? When he was doing his own thing, coming out of DC and everything, he was dope. But again, that's just...
He got caught up in his head for sure.
I put him in that, you know, like...
Elaborate on that.
I mean, you could tell he didn't deal with the attention super well. Like, he obviously has some sort of insecurity with himself that he's not able to like reconcile between how he's being received by the. I mean, because
as an artist and
realistically,
a person,
he's had a very strong track record at the beginning.
Big time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Major hits.
So there was no reason for him to necessarily feel any type of way at any point, unless he's already deeply insecure, comparing himself with the people. Like, because I mean, he came up with J. Cole. You know, they were living together.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
so
I
now
give
he's
him
got to
his
look
props.
at that. And
he got a 12-year run, easy, still going on. Like, he's good, but it's just not for me.
And that's what too many people say.
You know what I mean? It's more poetry, beatnik, and it's just not for me. You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean,
that was like 93.
But what about the title too? I feel like that was a bad first impression off rip, as everybody heard the title. And if you tune into the Joe Budden podcast at all, you know, number one, Wale definitely listens to the Joe Budden podcast.
He's friends with Joe Budden.
And number two, Maul's catchphrase is, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
So
shout out to Maul.
could be good marketing. You know what I mean? You just try to grab what's hot.
Maul does always say that. Maul does always say that.
You know what I mean? It was kind of good marketing, but almost in a negative light because it was like he wanted them to talk about it, but not talking to them beforehand just made it like, oh, he just took that thing.
Yeah, but that's biting. That's like the whole thing they got going on right now. Like, Button sort of, I guess low key called out Charlemagne for taking more or less. Button got the state of the culture, and the other shit is called like the state of something. You know what I mean?
Nah, he's on State of the Culture.
Yeah, that's Button. But then Charlemagne got some shit going with Netflix that Button was supposed to be having going with Netflix, and that sort of fell through. So like more or less what I read from it is just Buttons was having talks with Netflix, and they was giving the whole call back and getting some, opinions about this and that, throwing the idea back that they wanted them to do. Bam, phone calls go dry. Next thing you know, T.I. got a podcast, and they talking about Charlemagne jumping on with the state of something. I don't know if you guys can look it up. You know what I mean? But
got you.
It's, it's hard to retain when you be.
But wouldn't that be a conflict?
Night,
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a conflict of interest though for him to be with Revolt, with Spotify?
Who's that show with?
I'm sorry.
Who is that show with?
With what?
State of the Culture.
The new State of show that's.
No, it should be with Netflix.
It's Netflix.
Yeah, State of something.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I think since, all right, let's take it back. I mean, since we went on this segue of Joe Budden. Joe Budden, after he left Complex, his podcast had already been going on for years.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching his podcast for years. So way before the Spotify deal, way before he was even with Complex. I think that Migos interview, you remember that Migos interview?
Yeah, like when niggas stand up in the chest. And
so that whole viral moment.
That shit reminded me of the Chappelle show when Charlie Murphy go to Prince's house.
I've never heard that reference on that.
That's what that whole shit looked like.
With the fucking ruffles and shit.
Like it looked like that day.
Especially the way they were acting.
Quavo jumped up out the seat, then the other two jumped up out the seat. I was like, oh shit, nigga, these niggas about to check ball. Blouses. Shoot the J. Shoot it.
I'm done with you, kid. For real. No, but that's that's actually a great analogy. But after that moment, coincidentally, as he's on Complex, and a couple months later, he leaves Complex, and then him and Diddy start, doing their little dance, and then now he's on Revolt. So now with the co-sign of Diddy, State of the Culture is already finishing up their second season. They've been doing, their ratings are very high. Like, they're probably the highest rated. I mean, I don't know.
They do
you can fact check me, but.
1 million plus per show, like views and shit.
Yeah, I mean, but also his co-hosts
they're doing well.
They're doing very well.
Do you want those specifics from the Atlanta Black Star?
What's up?
Joe Budden. On his podcast recently, Budden said that Netflix first called him about being involved with a rap competition show. He gave them some ideas concerning what he thought would work and what wouldn't. And basically, he's now accusing Charlemagne and Netflix of taking that and running without giving him any backhand.
And what's the show called, though?
I already...
And Joe Budden is always praising about not giving away his ideas for free.
But the thing is, too, though, I get
Rhythm and Flow.
Rhythm and Flow?
Yeah.
And that Charlemagne show.
It's T.I., Cardi B, and Chance hosting it.
Ah, that's right.
But Charlemagne has some, production involvement.
Isn't it like a wannabe American Idol?
It's like the voice for rap, basically.
Yeah, but they finally need that, though. Like, how many years has it been without there being a proper rap competition? Because, even there was bias from Randy Jackson and Simon Cowell back then, saying how they don't consider rap to be considered as a vocal talent. They never wanted that back then. And recently, maybe with what's that NBC show shit?
Shazam?
With Howie Mandel and all them and Heidi Klum.
America's Got Talent?
Yeah, they let a couple people come and do raps, but it's really more children that they let come and do the raps because of the circumstances, but they're not really letting bona fide rappers. The closest thing you had, which I thought was a sham, was the Diddy shit.
Which one?
See it.
The 4 with Diddy Khaled.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining, but that shit was still it was buns. You know what I mean?
It was a little exagerated.
And the ones that should have stayed there didn't stay there. So it was what's buns? They didn't want to cut, from what I read, before, they didn't want to cut Diddy $1 million to do it. So he was like, nah, bump it.
I mean,
you put his price on the table and they said, nah.
So, I mean, but the show, I mean, I caught a couple of the episodes, but it was a little, I mean, to me, I didn't even take that as a fully,
really
like,
the thing
hip-hop
is, we
show.
got to recognize that these shows are media content created by a network, curated by a network. That's not about the rap competition. It's about the money coming in from the
culture vultures.
They're very, very much culture vultures.
So I never wanted that rap show, to be honest. I wasn't like, oh, finally. I was like, fuck, they finally figured it out. Like, all they needed was T.I. Cardi. You know what I mean?
Right.
The best rap show I think we have out there, truthfully, is the Smack. It's the Smack, the URL. That's it, man.
You talk about the Smack DVDs?
That's the best
I don't
rap
think
thing
they call
ever.
it
Like
Smack DVDs anymore.
Nah,
well,
because the competition of it though is just to get the best.
I agree. I also didn't know Smack was still active.
Yeah, the best bar for bar MCs and just they dope. But that's
battle rap. But that's kind of battle rap still. But
what I'm saying for
pure
you,
hip-hop,
like that's been its element from the grit, and it's even beautiful because it went from the street to its own platform and does its own thing without a corporate entity to coming over there and like taking it and you know fucking you over almost.
Right.
He's still doing him. And he's still bringing out them bars and them people seeing the bars and them MCs and, you know, Funk Flex is carrying that torch. But I guess it's different for a rap competition show where they're just to like do songs. If it's going to be that, I think BET had something like that back in the day when you were having them dudes like come and do songs. But, you know, them shows never prospered. You know what I mean? So maybe something might be different now. Netflix got that big money. And they don't really need to show their ratings to nobody, so you never know if the show is good or not.
And they're definitely willing to experiment with things that major networks on TV are not because they have way more shots on goal.
Yeah, because they actually had that algorithm to show who's who and put it out there. Yeah,
done.
But in reality, you know, hip hop and what is considered urban music is really pop now.
Oh, big time.
You know what I mean? Like even when
it's
you
crossover, man. Country's hip hop now.
Like even when you're in Europe, everywhere you go, it is pop now. So I think now, like
40 years strong.
40 years strong, but a lot of things have changed.
Big time.
And I mean, so I would definitely love your input in this with considering the fact that you have a pretty good history with hip hop.
Yeah,
you could. Let's share a little tidbits. Stop being shy.
You know, worked for a couple labels. Been involved. DJ. You know, just DJ'd a lot for a lot of rappers, solidified rappers in their prime. So you know, came into it in the late '90s and kept going early 2000s. A lot of entertainment industry stuff. So I've been around the block and then some. From LA to New York when rap was still in its form before the whole social media internet craze. So when you had to do the groundwork in it.
So what's the difference now with social media?
Social media makes it a lot easier, but it's a lot harder because it's more saturated. So there's more competition, but there's more avenues for you to fight for your audience and make an audience, but you have to put in a lot of work to separate yourself from the pack.
So it's easier to get on, but hard to stay on? Or
I don't think it's easier or harder. Realistically, like the bar moved up, but the ceiling went down.
Yeah.
So it's still the same average. You just got to learn different maneuvers to actually get there.
Once again, too, it's like you said, it can be curated like a Netflix, though, where you already know your demographic and your audience. There's ways for you to find that out. So now you can actually take the talent and involve it with the technology aspect and curtail it to what you want. It's just you got to have a little revenue.
Right.
So, you know, like,
So wait,
to bankroll yourself in a way, you almost have to payola yourself these days.
Yeah, of course. Come on, I mean that's radio programming.
Yeah, but I'm saying without the radio though, like you just have to sort of go and invest in yourself.
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's people out here touring on their own dime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's a great thing, and I feel like a lot of people want to criticize like the young ones coming up. Now they ain't really spitting. They spitting.
They don't got bars.
No, they do got bars.
Some of them.
But they just, the thing is, we, from my era and your era, we more or less are more used to like a pigeonhole kind of rap and what's considered an MC and the flow of the MC. Yeah, so if you're not coming out here and talking like the woo and come with these crazy metaphors and analogies and this and that. You ain't spitting. But these little dudes is spitting now. These young guys is getting off bars, getting shit off their chest. They come with that gangster shit, that grizzly shit, that poetic shit, that lyricism. They got bars. Like, these motherfuckers are spitting. They just spit differently.
Right, which brings me back to Wale.
So motherfuckers ain't giving they credit. These niggas is potent.
So let me let's bring it back to Wale. All right, and we'll discuss in brief the MMG fam, right? Yeah. Wale, essentially, if you really
go ahead.
If you listen to Wale and his music and the content that he's spitting, he's actually spitting. Okay, he's actually spitting. He's actually spitting shit that is positive, that has content, that is poetic.
Do we really want positive rap though?
But then, where we at?
That's the most ignorant shit I'm probably gonna say tonight. But do we really want positive rap?
I mean, do I? Yeah. Does the general population? Probably not.
Well, I think that's the beauty of the saturation of the current market is that there's there's space for each potential growth.
I like my hip hop ignorant.
I mean,
like real shit, bro. Like from back in MOP days. How about some hardcore? Yeah, we like it raw.
But the real thing that needs to be acknowledged is the full spectrum of the market. Yeah, I mean, there's nobody. I mean, Doja Cat popped off of a cow song.
The little shorty from the West, right?
I
she's a little cutie. She be spitting, but it's real.
No, she's popping right now. Yeah, for real.
And that again, that's not my flavor though. I get it. I like it. I admire it. Like she had the Tia Tamara shit.
It's not that flavor. Like it's not the cow flavor. That was just something she did
to get on.
But realistically, her music is fairly impressive.
They
and it's ratchet. You might like it.
Them females are stepping up. They got some shit. I just don't feel them.
Oh no, females are stepping up.
No, they stepping up big time.
No, they're stepping up. I mean, since we want to talk like ignorant shit, like
they got that rap caviar thing.
There's a space for both.
I rock with Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah, yo,
like, I ain't fronting.
I'm real dumb too. I wasn't checking for her.
Nah, she's dope.
So I'm thinking like, yo, the chick got 2, 3, 4 songs, and
she's
now
dope.
like
my
homegirl's like, nah, nigga, like you need to check this. She sent me that shit. Like she got like 2 albums out there, and she got some heavy shit with a heavy following that I check. I fucks with a man, Moneybag, yo. To me, he the truth. He potent, boy. That nigga.
His voice is very distinctive as well.
He got that. He got what Jeezy came with. He got that grit, that voice. But he's lyrical. He punching. He got a nice cadence. He got a nice bounce. So Moneybag dope.
All right, so let's talk Tell me 3 new acts in the last year that you would say like, all right, I rock with them. Or at least relatively
new.
Man,
the way acts is coming, man, there's like a new nigga every 2 weeks.
I know.
So, like...
It's so much music, I know. It's so much music that it's so saturated, I know.
I mean, what do you consider new?
Like, let's say within the last 2 years. Deep. Let's say within the last 2 years, but maybe they caught on.
Like started popping?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's different, because sometimes these niggas got a track record.
They started popping, let's just say, in the last year or 2.
All right, I guess what I've been feeling... out there mixtape wise, I'll be pumping back and forth and shit. I'm definitely liking that Casanova.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice, smooth.
He's West Coast, right?
Nah, Brooklyn.
He's Brooklyn, okay.
Yeah, smooth, dope.
Okay. I gotta do my homework on that.
From the intro just comes in, boy.
All right.
That what is it? The jail car, boy. That it comes in. It hits me here.
I'm curious what that noise is.
What noise?
That clicking, is that you?
Oh,
my bad.
Yo.
No, I'm not actually.
Damn it. Come on, Lex.
My bad.
That was really dumb. Like, what mic is fucked up right
now? Nah, my bad. My sound effects on the house. What's her face did a dope ass mixtape, yo. She came back heavy. Young M.A.
Yeah, I haven't heard it, but I've heard it.
She was smart, though. She took her time and actually did it right.
But nigga, that shit is hot.
Yeah,
and she gave you like double what everybody else is dropping out there. Like that shit is filled up.
Because I mean, she popped off of like
that's
her
a recent
first real shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That was the problem. She needed to take some time to figure herself out.
She did.
Wasn't supposed to pop that quick.
But like good ass track.
Now, segue. Do you think she's aiming towards a certain demographic that is now, you know, the whole LGQ?
Nah, I think she's been on that.
No disrespect if I'm like, you know, like throwing the letters out there wrong. But I'm just saying, do you think that as an angle?
People see that more as a starting point.
Okay.
Like, this is people who will support me off rip, whereas I want the whole pie.
I put her in there in the top 10 female MCs in the history of hip hop.
I'm not gonna front.
That's way too early. You crazy for that?
Nah. She got bars. How many females is there really though? Like for bars, like
Eve?
top 10 females.
I mean, how far are we going back?
I'm saying in the history, G. Like we can, we can go.
Definitely not top 10.
In the history.
Nah, B. You can go from the Roxanne Shantays all the way up past to the Nicki Minaj's. Young and Amazing in top 10.
You named 3 right there. That's a third.
With what?
I mean, we're
like,
talking about
no
Lauren,
disrespect to
MC
Shantae.
Light, like.
All right, if I had to give mine real
Lil'
quick.
Kim.
Kim.
Rhapsody.
Foxy. Remy Ma.
Rhapsody.
Young M.A.
MC Light.
MC Light has to be in there too.
I want some vicious shit though.
Lauren, nothing.
Lauren's dope. Lauren's really dope. Eve got some shit too.
Nah, Eve has some shit.
Eve did her shit, so that puts me at 6 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go take it around, dog.
You're so close to proving my point.
I fuck with Sugar T. I fuck with Sugar T. That's some old shit. E40. What's her face? Lady of Rage got some, but not enough material, so I got to.
Yo, but that's what I'm saying.
Take out. But look how far I'm going back though. Nicki Minaj ain't fronting. Like she got some things, but to me there's too much of that singing and that schizophrenic personality shit.
But
it don't do it for me.
A little bit, though.
It don't do it for me checking for her records. But there's sometimes she spazzed out.
Now Nicki or
just all Nicki all together. Like in the last 10, like it just her material as a whole doesn't do it for me. You feel me? So I'm not an ecstatic fan about that. It ain't like Little Kim. You give me Little Kim, nigga. You give me Foxy. You give me Remy Ma, nigga. Like, I know what I'm getting.
Right.
You feel me? I came to Popeyes for that chicken sandwich. I know what I'm getting. You know what I mean?
And they don't give up paper straws.
Nah, fuck that. Nah, fuck a paper straw, man. I don't know. Don't come to South Florida with that shit. But yeah,
was
straight
that
up.
Your
like,
segue? Because that was strong.
That was. I'm learning.
Only if you
paper
take it
straws.
You could actually commit and take it to that place now.
Nah, well, let's talk about it. What's up with paper straws?
Me and X too. I gotta give it up to Mama Mia.
I was just in London, and I noticed in London there a lot of these places only use paper straws. So I'm sitting there like, I guess it's like a British thing now, like that this whole thing is taking over. But
it's a
so
world
funny
conscience thing. You know what I mean?
But come on,
it's a progressive
fam.
thing.
Yeah, is it?
Fuck that, man.
Well,
Is it?
quote.
Is
Quote.
it?
I ain't saying like.
Is it more cost effective?
Excessive liberal thing. It's just the wrong solution for the right problem.
What would you suggest as an alternative?
Hemp.
Let's educate the people so we can. How can we do that?
Hemp is one of the most renewable resources there is, especially agriculturally, and it can be used to make infinite number of textiles, quite literally, from like plastics to papers, everything.
Yeah. Nice.
And you don't have to tear down a damn forest because it fucking regrows so quick.
Yeah, and it gets soggy, man. It's kind of whack.
Yeah, it does. And then it becomes a part of your drink. That's my problem. Like, that shit eventually becomes a part of your drink. And that's not like, you know what I mean?
So
like, fuck,
offended.
bro. Like, I didn't sign up for this shit. You know what I mean? And fuck that. Get rid of plastic bottles, too, man. Bring back fucking glass bottles. Ain't nothing better than a glass Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but that's not.
I don't know we getting paid from Coca-Cola right now, but a glass Coca-Cola is the truth.
Glass Mexican Coca-Cola.
Yeah, exactly. With the sugar, exactly.
Or Ecuadorian.
When you get that shit fucking in the freezer and that bitch just foams at the top where there's a little ice cap and you pop that bitch open, that shit is everything. That is like crack in a glass. Right? That's why that shit had cocaine, nigga. That shit really is like cooked crack in reverse. Reverse osmosis crack. It's frozen.
I grew up on that.
That shit is chronic.
So I grew up on that. The whole plastic bottle thing has always been a thing here.
Yeah.
But like in Ecuador, like that's how you used to buy them. Like as a kid, you buy
pop
the glass.
that bitch right off the fucking old school vending machine.
You used to have to take the glass bottle back to the store.
Recycle that bitch. Yeah.
Recycle it. So that's like some real old school shit.
Nah, I prefer that shit, man. Cause I ain't fronting. Them 20-ounce bottles, them plastic bottles don't get cold like that. It's two different sodas. Two different, a glass, any soda in a glass bottle versus a plastic bottle are totally two different sodas.
All right.
They can change your whole attitude how you start your day.
So
that applies to most drinks. Honestly.
Yeah, serious shit.
Pour a beer in a glass.
Like imagine motherfuckers was selling.
It is.
Imagine they start selling beers in plastic bottles, nigga. Like we ain't having that shit.
I think they
already do.
No,
They do.
In plastic
they sell
bottles.
the OEs 32 in plastic.
Bro, they deserve that. Whoever's still drinking OEs to
that's
this
offensive.
day, you know what I mean?
MD 2020.
And they don't even have 40s anymore. They're only 32s because that's the law here.
Nah, but that's over here though. But I'm saying anybody who's still drinking OEs, dog, you're on punishment, brother. There's too much variety. There's too much money going around. Like, no, dog, this ain't no special brew St. Ives and OE.
Hey, that's your judgment, fam.
Yeah, this ain't 89, 90s, 91.
Nah,
this ain't,
we ain't out here drinking Cisco.
No.
Come
No.
I ain't out here judging.
No.
Hey man, some people like that shit.
They don't know better though. You know what I mean? Niggas still drinking out deuces and silver bullets and all that shit. Like no, you know what I mean?
All right, so let's get back to the music. All right, MMG, because all right, Rick Ross recently.
You see if a nigga gets pussy pulling up with some silver bullets to her house.
Yo, don't judge the people, educate the people.
I'm trying to, man. That's what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah.
There's too many of them microbreweries and special brews or something, brother. Niggas better get put on some.
Even the Floridian beers and shit. The local
shit is alright. You know, you just gotta expand your horizons. But you know, it's just.
You gotta educate these women and these fellas out here.
Yeah.
No OE anymore.
Niggas need to stop with all the bottle service and start giving bitches beers.
Oh well, that needs to be the whole conversation.
Thing. No, that's what needs to happen because there's a deeper impact.
We need to talk on that one. When you
get rid of the alcohol and you start giving them beers, it's cheaper on the pocket for my brothers out there, you know, whining and dining.
Minus the $9 Heinekens, fam.
Nah, but I'm just saying, look, but check this out, though, because now you sabotaging her, too. So now she's thinking she a high horse and wants the champagne, but you secretly giving her a beer belly. Okay? So that's going to take the toll and humble her down.
So wait a minute. You talk about some bird bitches, like a chick who can't tell between a beer or champagne?
Nah, I'm saying you got to get the upper echelon off of the champagne.
A beer in the champagne glass.
No, just beer, period. Like, nah, like, no. Like, sometimes when you pop off and get a couple of fireworks, ain't nothing wrong with getting 24 Heinekens to the table.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? But now you just got to go feed her a six-pack real quick. Like, let's go do this shit next week. Feed her a six-pack. Next thing you know, that bitch rocking around with a tummy, son.
So
she'll humble herself.
Okay, all right, let's talk about that because I got two fellas in the room. So I really want to, let's get into this because this also ties into...
Excuse my language, too.
Are you bringing that one on stage, though?
Beautiful, intelligent creatures of habit, ladies. You know, do your thing.
I would love to see that as a stand-up bit, honestly.
This one? Oh, he's hilarious. Yeah, we've been friends for like, what, how long? Like 15, 16 years now?
16,
it's always a clown show. No, but I'm just saying, all right.
Lose a couple counts after doing a couple bids.
Okay, but the thing is now, all right, look, when we, you know, our generation is 80s babies, right? When we used to go out before social media.
Yeah, pre-game.
Okay. Pre-game number one rule.
Strong.
Come on, fam. On the way to the club.
Pre-game, like pre-game up to the door, nigga. You pre-gaming in the line.
In the water bottle joint. Like, yo, like.
No shame.
No, but what I'm saying is like now when you go to clubs, like when we used to go to clubs, like when I used to club hard, like I used to go to the clubs starting from like 17.
Yeah, we start early.
Spots, Opium, Privé. You already know. All the spots on South Beach. The Shore Club. Like,
all that
It's
shit.
much different now. And back then, people used to actually dance. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people will go to the club, and even if you had a table section, people are dancing. People are having a good time.
But now they made it more real estate.
Now it's, because of my Instagram or because of my Snapchat or because of my Twitter, like, so here we are.
Instagram
so,
event.
you see my table, you see my bottle,
but
and it's other niggas' bottles.
Yeah, but that whole thing too.
I'm like, nah, come on, fam.
It's a lot of fronting, and we all know that, and that's the whole thing with the social media thing. You got a couple motherfuckers doing it with no cap who've been doing it and do it and don't have to post it, but you got everybody just trying to live in the moment, and then
that's a problem.
I think the clubs more or less took that over because before I could say the vibe in Miami was actually with the promoters presenting and bringing the party and the people to the club, and the promoters were the ones who would make a trend and move the crowd from place to place. Mm-hmm. Then the owners caught on and oust the promoters and got sub-promoters from people to go do the labor and the do-boy work, so to speak, and take over the night. And then change it to their, you know,
the promoters ran
benefit.
The party. You know what I'm saying?
But now anymore. Now it's the clubs run the party with promoters. You got people working
table
under
service.
them.
There's no dance floor anymore.
And
I'm talking different cities. I'm talking like DC, New York, here, Miami, like London.
But it changes
Paris.
with the music too.
It changes with the music too, but I think it's more about putting on now. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not about having a good time. Now it's more, and you know what? Listen, I'm gonna say this to ladies, and this is very like, because in my opinion, when men do this, it's usually and pardon my French, like you just said a minute ago, it's a whose dick is bigger contest now in the club. Course. So it's like what dude has the most bottles, what dude has the most chicks, because that's gonna draw in other chicks. And ladies, let me tell you something.
There's a lot of urban homosexuality in that one. You know,
Ladies, let me tell you something.
I'll go into that one.
Yeah, we can go into that one. But ladies, let me tell you something. A man spending a couple stacks in the club on some bottles, surrounded by other bitches, he's only trying to impress the next nigga at the next table.
And that's the urban homosexuality in it.
And,
you know
there's
what I mean?
a problem there because he could be spending them racks on you. Is kind of how I look at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm just keeping it frank. If we're going to go to a club,
he could spend a third on that on the passport and just fuck it.
No clubs.
No, but come on, fam.
To blow your mind.
If I went on a date with a man and we went to a club and he's like, yeah, we're going to order the Ace of Spades, we're going to do this, this, and this. The bill comes in his 10 fucking racks. I would have looked at him and been like, you know, we could have gone to Africa, we could have gone to Australia, we could have did like a million other things.
But a lot of women don't think that when they're there in the moment.
Yeah, they don't. But that's why I'm trying to drop gems.
They going with the high and the rise, man.
I'm trying to drop gems. That's why I'm like, that shit is corny.
Women on trip, man. Women will come out there on the man's dime, do all the fronting and stunting like it's days, or they out there doing them and not show or give credit to the dude who's sponsoring.
The problem is
there's mad women to do that, and that just sets them up. While she over there stunting and fronting on your dime, she bagging another motherfucker off the gram or the
your
snap,
homeboy,
showing it for another nigga to give her the idea like, all right, this is what this bitch likes. This is what she wants to do when she wants to step out. So when I go play my card, I already know what it is. I took a couple people out here and there, and I seen what they do. And I ain't never been in the snap when I'm sponsoring and this and that.
Yeah,
but it's part of the game, though. Nah, I don't care. Preferably for me, I'd rather lay low.
Me too.
We do our thing. That's that. But I repeat the game what Shorty doing because come on, son. A lot of people think they fast, but they really a school zone. You know what I mean? and that's what I gotta say. Like, you know, like it depends where you come from. So like your speed ain't my speed.
Right.
But do your thing.
Fair.
And then with the dudes stunting and fronting, I've been to strip clubs where all right, man, I ain't fronting. There's some rappers come to town.
Okay.
True story. The club was empty, but had 30 birds in there, right?
Birds?
Like 30 chicks in there. The hotties, 30 of them.
It's just 30 pigeons flying around.
Yeah, 30 of them in there, right?
Are they doves or
them niggas pulled up. And they was like, yo, so-and-so wants to come through. Go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no niggas in there, but nothing but women. Ready to shake something and do everything.
Right.
Then niggas pulled out and said, nah, dog, ain't nobody in there because they want to make a movie in front of niggas. Instead of coming for the birds, nigga, like, what you coming for? You coming for the strip club for pussy or you coming for niggas?
Right.
That's a
no, I'm saying like otherwise you know you better drive up to the I-4 and go catch some ding dongs or something, brother. Like I don't know what it's about. Like,
and that is so unattractive to me.
Yeah, what's your motivation for
it's
real?
So unattractive.
Because brother, like real talk, man. The last people I see, and I put this on the table. The last people I see who did it and did it right and did it like no other, BMF. I was physically there in the clubs. I'm showing my age now.
As I
was physically there to see them dudes do something that's never been done. I'm talking, they came, they pulled up, they did their thing, they let the regular people party.
Shout out to the Venture, by the way.
When the club closed, they closed the club like, all right, we locking the doors. And that's it.
That was it.
And I'm talking like this is warehouse status of the clubs.
BMF Sunday.
I ain't dropping names or nothing, brother, but you could not see the floor. Okay, it's just dollar bills all around. Everybody in the team shining. Everybody in the team got bottles. Bottles of like they just shut it down, and that was them. They pulled up in two Sprinters and a conversion van, and that was that.
And Bentleys, and Hummers.
No, I'm saying even before that, when they was just sliding, they just come on some regular stuff.
Different mission.
Yeah.
They come in, around
the time
that
Sprinters and the conversion.
You can see their motivation isn't to like show out the dudes.
Listen. I used to be,
and everybody in the team was eating, and everybody in the team looked comfortable and did their thing and had their thing. And them boys was looking good. Sometimes you see a lot of entertainers and rappers stunting hard, but while your mans ain't got the jewels on too, while your man's over there getting spoon fed and shit, that shit's crazy.
Nah, Big
Too
Meech,
much money going around.
Big Meech was super
but
that's what got him caught though. He was very flashy. He was very generous.
Yeah. If you looking, it's real easy to see someone's motivations though. I mean, are you throwing crazy but your dude ain't eating? Like you said, exactly.
Like I said too, but this was still before the whole social media craze. So the most you may have,
that applies.
The most you may had is one homie with the camcorder. You feel me? But like I'm saying,
oh man, if I would have had the videos.
I'm there with one of the DJs, who's a DJ now in the scene out here, and me and this dude was like, damn, cousin, we seen some Make It Rain and some, but
not like this.
I'm talking I was not walking on carpet or tile no more.
Couldn't see the floor.
You couldn't see the floor.
There's about to be a slip and fall on some money.
They used to have billboards. They used to have billboards
before the billboards. That's what I'm saying. This is. I'm talking, man. This is some stuff like.
Well, this is when I was interacting. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you was dealing with them differently.
I was,
so.
the Circle House era,
like,
the Blue Da Vinci performing.
Yeah, this is like
era. Right before they got caught up like about a year and a half later. Like I met Jeezy. Like that's when Jeezy first started getting on, because Jeezy used to always be around them. And I'm talking about like when we used to go out every Sunday like clockwork, BMF Sundays at Crowbar, which is aka Cameo.
We're Cameo now.
Yeah, Cameo.
Yeah.
And then at the time, Big Meech was dating Trina.
Yeah.
So it used to be like me, Trina, all these celebrities, Trick Daddy, Khaled, Fat Joe, Mike Tyson, and it used to be like a fucking music video. Like everybody had like a bottle to each hand.
Yeah, that Perry Jouet shit.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
a bottle to each hand. We're all on stage, money thrown, and they're throwing hundreds. Like everybody has stacks of hundreds, and I'm like, y'all making all this bread off of Blue Da Vinci, man. This shit's crazy. I was like, this shit's crazy. Yeah. But at the time when I was 19, 20 years old, to me it was like, I'm just getting in the club. Like, you know what I mean?
He was making good music too, though. Blue was dropping shit. He did that little track with Fab and shit.
Yeah.
He had some records.
He actually still follows me. We follow each other on Instagram still, which is actually funny. Yeah, but I mean, that was
shout out to Blue.
Shout out to Blue. Blue was good. Nah, but that was a whole different era. I mean, again, before social media. Yeah. But even they got themselves caught up on that flashy shit before social media. So I find it even stupider now, and I don't even think I'm making that word up because I know it's not right.
That works for me, man.
It works.
We speak that way.
We're not those.
Yeah. but I'm just saying, like now, like even how people are speaking to social media, how they'll commit crimes. And they record themselves.
But that's just
and
rookies,
then they post the shit.
That's like rookies and people just trying to get put on and be seen. You know what I mean?
I'm like, do you know where you...
First thing at the code is silence, man. Don't be seen. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But like that code in that code era is gone.
Well, I mean,
you know
the new age had to learn it in their own way too. But to be fair, I think there's a new... I mean, it's not across the board with everybody, but there's a new thought process based off just 6ix9ine and everything he's been
making that shit okay.
A lot of people are starting to be like understanding of why there was codes in the first place now.
Of course.
But before.
I think it's different.
Because I know a lot of young people that, I've watched operate for a little while now.
Right.
And they're slowly starting to operate differently. And I don't think that's coincidence in timing. I think people are seeing like, that it got him somewhere, and then it got him somewhere.
It got him, and then now I know a lot of people are hating on him, and I mean, I don't operate by that same code as well because my understanding of the legal system is far different. But what I'm saying is, I think that he'll probably still be able to come out on top.
Yeah.
Make music.
Yeah.
He's probably going to have some kind of book deal, some kind of all-tell interview. Like, the era that we're living in now is acceptable.
Like, it doesn't apply.
It's acceptable. Like,
It's not that it's acceptable. It's that he can reach literally everyone at once. So the people that don't like what he's doing don't affect him anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's really happening. Because we're kind of pretending that like the code has changed. It's not that the code has changed. It's that he can reach the people who don't care about the code.
Exactly, too. And the thing is, too, the people he appeals to, the majority,
they don't care about that
they're not a part of they're not a part of the culture.
Have always been civilians.
Yeah, but they're not a part of the culture. They're not part of the urban dynamic of in the hood and trapping and banging and really putting in work and them kind of things. Like, like the man is a pop star.
Yeah, he
is big. Star. Like he gets big money, has a big crossover, big following. That ain't niggas sitting on Section 8 and slinging some rocks and doing county time or up the road bids, putting them views on YouTube.
I mean, if you want
that's kids, that's teens, that's grown adults, that's people who like his music. Like I ain't fronting. Like I heard him before I even seen him. So when I first started hearing his records, I'm like, oh shit, nigga, Onyx came back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking,
he was kind of extreme.
Nigga, I'm thinking like, like, oh my God, like, Onyx is back. Like, I'm tripping and hitting niggas in the shoulder, nigga, like, like, Fredro back, Sticky back. And then I find out, like,
I never heard that
Tekashi 6ix9ine. And then I see what the dude looks like. I'm like, nah, nigga, you niggas is joking right now, dog. Like, I ain't knocking it. I get that's part of that. This, like, what these dudes is doing now, rapping with all the style and the colors and the trends, is no different than when hip hop started out back with Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and all them doing all the funky all-star stuff to separate yourself differently. You know what I mean? So back then, like hip hop was glam.
Right.
They were like glam rockers,
And
like
then
you know
was
me.
Gangster, and
then it toned
and there was
down.
a lot of people faking gangster at that point too.
Right.
It toned down though, but I'm saying from that early '80s, them dudes was coming out with the hot stuff and the hottest stuff to separate you from being the artist to the fans. You can't look like everybody in the hood.
Slick Rick appeal.
So that's what them dudes is doing now. Like all these dudes is doing the haircuts and bringing back the zigzag.
They doing shit back to James Brown for real.
They doing shit like
that's what started that shit. No, just like even the outfits,
the bell bottoms and shit.
That's what it is though.
It was the first one to be like,
jacket.
yo, I don't care what y'all wearing at all.
On that Prince vibe too, though. But that was the hip hop.
That's what they doing though. These dudes is wearing a lot of shit that they never would come across. Some of these niggas is wearing purses and skirts, but it's more or less I think they're trying to do the most to be different or indifferent. They're trying to wear all this designer shit and get custom made stuff and do all these crazy colors in the hair and all these other things. But that's the part of their thing they're trying to do to set their persona and their identity to be a superstar or a megastar.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
popularity.
But then, then we came to that era from where I'm from.
Separation, popularity, right.
The high, all right, with hip hop, they was coming off like superstars and were high glamour, right? At one point. Then it started getting stripped down because then being high fashion was a no-no because you're saying now like you're acting like you're bougie or you're rich and we're from the streets and this is gritty. So that's why we're going to come and dumb it down and do the KRS-One, the BDP, and just come with you strip it down, dog, no chains, no nothing, just it started getting grimier and grimier. The Gangstar, the Mobb Deeps, and then they started elevating and picking back up when you started having the Biggies and the Puffies, and now you're bringing money back into the game again. And then you got the Cash Money niggas. The Cash Money niggas just started coming and killing it. Because it wasn't really about them being stylish. The niggas came with the jewelry. Because them niggas ain't have no dress code at all.
Pink polo out.
Yeah, them niggas had no dress code at all. Them Cash Money niggas.
Now my dog Juvie used to just no
Jabot
shirt,
jeans and some white tees. But they had dumb jewelry and dumb cars. You know what I mean?
I mean, even
That's pretty much what you need.
And then it started picking up and elevating. The fashion started coming in. Then you really had Killer Can come and kill it. And the Dipset were coming, the fashionistas of it and just dipping out and coming with the swag.
Right.
And they came with the rock swag and the tight
Fab
and
was also always pretty.
He had the whole Jersey shit, down and the kick shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like when it started coming with the trends to dress. You know what I mean?
I mean, Puff.
Niggas wasn't dressing like Puff though. Like niggas wasn't in front of Versace shit.
Puff was always on some other
even
fly
Jay-Z
shit.
did like throwback jerseys and shit, but Puff was
never on that.
y'all.
But with them dudes, I can't say they were fashion trendsetters in hip hop. You didn't see niggas saying, yo, I'm trying to go and dress like Puff. You know what I mean?
Puff,
niggas got some
they
coochies
respect
like
his
Big.
fly.
Yeah,
I would say.
Because Puff is Puff, but niggas wasn't trying to dress like Puff.
Right.
Niggas definitely wasn't trying to dress like Jay-Z. You know what I mean?
Once the pink polo came out with Kanye, people
and the backpack,
the polos.
Yeah, the polos.
Cam, Dipset, niggas was dressing like that and started wearing the skulls and the jewels and you know what I mean? Started wearing the
old Kanye.
What's the shit, son? That was like Von Dutch, Christian.
The Ed Hardy.
I don't know
that shit and the other shit with the crosses and niggas was doing that shit and coming with that little rock slim scene and them niggas was the one to go from baggy. The Dipset, that Harlem shit was the baggy with the low brim and the baggy.
That Echo shit.
Yeah, like just the
that
baggy.
Jimmy Jazz wear.
And them niggas came and did a 180 and they said, all right, nigga, we doing this skinny fitted shit,
It was
nigga.
for real a 180. I remember when I was young, people were getting clowned for wearing skinny shit.
Like, definitely.
But back in my era in the 80s, we started off skinny, nigga.
Right.
Like we had no choice until Carl Kanat came through.
Cycle.
Carl Kanat, Ross Colors and all that, you know what I mean? Like,
the shiny suits, nigga.
That's it. Like before, like you just had to buy oversized jeans and then you try to just get some jeans and sag or whatever. But that didn't start coming to like the late 80s, early 90s. It was just buying your clothes oversized till you had homeboy come and make clothes for us. You feel me?
Well, I just because since you brought up
that urban way, because before like we was wearing like Levi's and Lee's and Wranglers and whatever you could get and just trying to add to it and make it fresh out of it till we got urban clothes and then we started having urban stores.
I think that ties in also with hip hop becoming pop. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I think it kind of coincides. But
I mean, clocking dollars now. Now it's beyond music.
I don't know if maybe you can look this up. Pharrell was actually just on the cover of a magazine, and the discussion was how fashion and trends and how they've evolved, especially in particular in hip hop. Yeah. How they are, quote unquote, crossing or not crossing the lines of masculinity. and he has on like a full blown
like a.
I know he's always been abstract.
Yeah. Not knocking any of the listeners out there, especially in the
that's why I said that earlier.
The alphabet community. You know what I mean?
Like Dave Chappelle said.
I don't know. Dave Chappelle said a whole bunch of. I think he's for XYZ squared and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like
evolving masculinity and spiritual warfare. Yeah.
But see, that's right there. That's that propaganda. You got to look at what's
the source here? Oh, it was GQ.
GQ, but you got to look at who's the writer behind that. Who is that writer? People keep reading the article, but you need to go investigate who the person writing the article is. What is this person about? What is this person's lifestyle? So they're going to go take the subject.
Demographic
also. They're going to go take the subject and they're going to go word it to what they want to feel and push their agenda, even though he may be a part of it or in on it. But obviously, if you're doing all that for a spread, you're in on it. You're looking like Nina Simone, my man. Like what is that?
So, okay, I personally...
Like come on, G. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like the man's music. And I separate.
There's no denouncing.
Yeah, like yo.
You can never.
The music and the person's two different things. You know what I mean? And it's hard for us to separate the two.
Yeah, most people don't.
Nah, but like I'm not for all that. You know what I mean? But I like his.
But it
also
has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, definitely not. But it's definitely something like I personally don't want being pushed on my children.
I agree.
So, but see that goes in against my thing. This stuff is mainstream, and this is getting pushed out there. Where now, if you have a negative opinion, for you not to even say you want to not be a part of that, you're in the wrong.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't agree with.
Yeah, you get calmed down and you get bullied for not being someone who's an advocate for that, or just being on the train. It's not even an advocate to say like I'm against it or I'm
You just don't agree.
Yeah, but it's beyond that. The way you get treated for not even agreeing, it becomes like
you're
more or less
chastised for not agreeing.
Yeah, but it's deeper than that, because then it becomes like, oh, you're like part of a hate group, or you're behind the whole theory to limit our rights and this and that. It's like, no, this nigga to each his own. Like, it's not for me. It's not for my family. Do you? But
there's a difference between to each his own and simultaneously saying that he's pushing it at the same time.
But I feel
if
that
he's
it is
doing
pushed.
him, how is that pushing it? Because that's the line that you gotta walk.
Because he's a brand. And he has a team.
Everybody's a brand.
But he has a powerful team. You're talking about one of the biggest hip hop legends.
So because he has a powerful team, that means he should conform to what you want.
If they pay him enough to do it, yeah.
Everybody got a price.
If they pay him enough to do it, absolutely.
Everybody got a price.
Or if they threaten him and they say, hey,
and
you know what, you don't do this, this, and this.
I have no idea why you're saying that or what it means.
Because those things really happen.
No. As pertains to what? Someone putting these clothes on him? What are you talking about?
No.
Somebody's saying to him, his team, let's say his management team, and this I'm not saying any of this is factual, but hypothetically speaking, if he were to be approached and say, hey, you know what, GQ magazine, we're not talking about people, we're talking about a credible, GQ, we want you to wear a dress, a gown.
And they do these things.
Rihanna type gown on the cover.
I've watched enough of Pharrell to understand that this is his personality. This isn't something
I get that.
Cool. Even easier for them to do it. Even easier for them to get him to co-sign and be like, yeah, you're with it.
Him, why would he not be like? You're saying that with the assumption he wouldn't be with it. Why would he necessarily not be if that's inherently a part of his personality?
I don't think he did it for free. I'll tell you that.
Of course not. He doesn't do anything.
You see what Lil Uzi Vert does? Yeah, I've been seeing that. Did y'all get the GQ spread now? Don't get me wrong, too. I actually have a subscription to GQ.
All right, so hold on. Pause. Hold on. So are you saying that if you had a son, right? Would you be okay with your son saying like, I just want to wear dresses and skirts and let's just, that's what I want to rock?
I mean, honestly,
be honest. Yes,
I would let him do it just because I think maybe he'll get his ass beat, and then fucking that's gonna condition him out of it. Either way,
that's even more absurd though. So now you that's like sending fresh meat to the prison yard. Like nah, nigga, like all right, go get fucked in the ass and come home. Like all right, nigga, you learned your lesson.
Let him finish. Let him finish. All right, so continue.
So that was too much.
No.
Oh man.
No, it's real, but
I mean, you're the one talking about my future kid getting fucking ass. I don't know.
No, God forbid. We don't want.
We're getting him soap on the rope, man. Soap on the rope and a good lawyer. Hopefully, it'll just be that 30 days. It's just.
Yo, I'm done with both of y'all right now.
No, but realistically, I would be surprised. I wouldn't necessarily knock it because I don't think it means anything. Like,
Now, may I ask a question, Luke? All right. Now, would you not knock it because of the way you see society is today? Has society conformed your thought?
No, because
I'm
definitely not a part of the extreme liberal or offended culture.
Yeah.
I have a strong stance against that. I see that as a lack of empathy, realistically. Like the way the liberal agenda currently moves right now, cancel culture is a problem because it doesn't allow you to grow.
Right.
It forbids understanding or any type of you did one thing, you canceled. That's it.
But do you think that your ideology has softened over time and over the years of seeing certain things, and it's especially different too, because we live in a very multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-sexual preference and identity area.
I don't think
we're equivalent to LA and New York,
right?
Yeah,
big time.
For sure. Yeah, we're
big time.
It's a coastal thing.
And on top of it too, with our specific demographic, when it pertains to this kind of culture and that community, we are fluent and significantly recognized for it as a whole over here.
Right.
Yeah.
So our acceptance and our understanding and our way of life is different than a lot of other people across the country due to exposure, due to dealing with them. Like for instance, there's certain people in the middle of America who live their life and never seen a person of color.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Like straight up, unless it's on TV.
Or in certain countries even.
Yeah, but in America,
yeah, of course.
There's motherfuckers living in America. There's a white person right now who can be born and die and never see a black person.
Very true.
So that goes with the same thing. There's those other people who will never see a cross-dresser, a transsexual, a homosexual,
right,
a lesbian. I'm not sure if that's one thing. Are lesbians and homosexuals the same? Is this ignorant right now?
No.
But okay, it's just.
But what? Sorry, I'm just so you're saying that basically,
with your exposure here, has that changed your mind or grown on you?
It desensitizes
you. Of course, your environment has a lot to do with how you think about things.
Of course.
So that's why I'm asking, do you think you would make that decision due to your exposure and due to the things that you've seen day to day here in and out? Because even if you don't have direct contact with them, when they pass by you, you still get that, that vibe and that energy and that.
I could only speculate that, of course.
That roundness to it.
It has an impact.
It's like being Bruce Willis in the movie fucking Glass and shit, where he just bumps into touching people and you get a vibe and shit. It's the same thing. Like you're exposed to it directly and indirectly. So that messes with your conditioning.
It does.
I think it factors into it. But at the end of the day, I'm either going to accept that I have free will or don't. Realistically, I'm still going to think what I think.
Right.
So my perspective is my perspective, and all I can do to add to that is try to gain other people's perspectives and incorporate them to the best of my ability.
So, I mean, I agree.
Second question,
go ahead.
Back to the whole sending your child out in a dress to get beat up. Now,
if he gets beat up.
Okay. Oh, yeah, shit. The skirt might give him some more room to work around.
A boy named Sue is all I was really saying there.
So, all right, that being said, to play devil's advocate, though, you send him out in the skirt to get beat up and knowing that he would get beat up, does that mean
I don't know if I'm knowing that. I'm saying I would never stop my child from doing almost anything if I thought life wasn't going to give them whatever lesson they needed out of it.
Okay.
It's not as extreme as let me send my kid out.
Yeah, I'll put that back. The way it's saying, all right.
You asked me if my child came to me and said, I want to wear this. I'm going to be like, do whatever the hell you want. Like, life is going to teach you more than I am.
Oh, got you. Okay.
True.
See, I was under the impression that you're saying, in the back of your head that you probably would have been that kid to beat him up in the skirt. So that's why you're just assuming that he would get beat up.
Nah, I probably would have been
I'm saying?
No.
Off to myself in the first place anyway. I was an introverted.
Go to the bar?
Kid,
got you.
Introvert? I can't tell.
But usually when you're introvert, you come out over time. Because, you just sit back being an introvert. I can relate to being one. I'm a social introvert. Absorb so much just watching. So then it starts to process and starts coming out in either humor or obscurity, and it comes out with time because you just spent so many years analyzing.
So now that all right,
I get you.
So okay,
Yeah, Luke.
I'm with you.
All right. So now that we're talking about conditioning and desensitizing and just doing things for attention, I want to talk about Kanye.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Kanye.
Yeah, he knows how to get the attention. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, always right. So all right, Kanye's allegedly his album is dropping tonight.
Yeah.
It's funny that we got to say allegedly with him. Normally,
allegedly, because you never
this artist
know.
is dropping an album.
Well, it was supposed to have dropped September 27th, and it didn't.
I know. Well, also 2 more times before that.
Edits, right.
But that's how good he is with attention. He's been buttering you up and fucking you every month.
Do you know who his wife is?
Everybody knows who his wife is.
Yo,
I think
that's the funniest thing about Kanye is like clearly he knew that this woman was the most powerful brand, so that had to be a first initiation. But it does kind of seem like he accidentally fell in love with her for real.
I mean, she is beautiful.
He did. Nah, like he looks
beautiful.
like that dude.
She's a beautiful woman. Why not? Like, you know,
because chemistry is crazy and you never know what's going to happen.
But it could be a trophy situation, and then you can also love your trophy. You know what I mean? It's a power move. Yeah, of course.
Oh, he loves that.
She probably loves him too. You know what I mean? Like, of course. Like,
and that's all good and cute.
It's two powerful people.
They are. So, all right. So his album is supposed to drop tonight, and we're talking since we're filming and it's not live. October 24th, apparently tonight at midnight. So the 25th, he's dropping.
Yeah.
So a couple points I want to bring up.
Yeah.
Kanye has been, obviously in the news and the headlines since that rant that he did. I want to say it was late 2016.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Where he spoke out against Jay-Z, Beyonce, blah, blah, blah.
Whole shit and
pretty
got
much
put into
ever
the
since
mental
then,
ward.
yeah, 2016, because shortly thereafter is when Trump got elected. And then, then he's all of a sudden, right after that whole rant, taking pictures with Trump, blah, 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 blah. The MAGA hats, you fast forward. People have been hating Kanye for like the last two and a half years now, blah, 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 right?
On that side note, though,
what?
They say it was a rant, but I really don't think Homeboy was ranting. I think he was just speaking the truth.
I'm calling it a rant.
And they was just trying to blackball him. You know what I mean?
I'm saying what they called it, what the media called it. I personally believe he was being sincere as well.
Damn right. That nigga is speaking out. That nigga said, "Nigga, don't send them hitters to me." I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
No, and of course.
He calling out an entity. You know what I mean? A corporation. Like, don't send them folks to me. I know you got that bread, but he's just getting some shit off his chest.
People do that. You know why? A lot of people do that. You know why? Because now he put it out in the public. So if something did happen to him,
yeah, he in that world, boy, where there's only so many secrets niggas can keep. Right. Then eventually the bottle breaks.
So all right. So basically, right.
That's one of them days he had to get that shit off his chest.
So now all this shit has happened. The whole MAGA hat, him coming out, the shaking the hands of Trump and the canoodling and all that. And then all of a sudden, a year ago, he starts doing the Sunday service, right? In the inception of it, it was basically him performing in like public venues with a choir, doing a lot of renditions of certain gospel songs and then his own records. And now he's evolved to where he's doing these Sunday services at actual churches. Yeah. He's having live listening parties. He has a film that's also coming out with, this new album that's dropping. And now he's claiming that, I've been saved and I'm Christian and I don't even want cursing on this project.
That's cool.
So is he being sincere or is he trying, or is this a crisis like PR move? Because if you think about it, he mainly offended black people to a very, very drastic point. Mm. And what do black people love? They love some Jesus. Yeah. So when you Amen. Amen. But it's kind of convenient to me when you're talking about now you're a converted Christian and la 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 la. But then what was Life of Pablo came out 2016? Yeah. And your wife that now you're saying, yo, my wife is out here like looking way too sexy. You put your wife on the cover of on your album cover with her ass out. Yeah. Like there's just so many contradictions, and I'm not saying that people can't fluctuate and change and go through shit. But it's like, fam, you went from the public spectacles on stage. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then you're saying it's your mental health. Then you're saying that you're a free fucking mind and that's why you can wear a MAGA hat. But now you're a converted fucking Christian and Jesus is king? Like,
well, part of me thinks he's already planning his next phase. Like the religious one is going to last maybe 3 years right now.
But you think so?
And then after that,
he's really gonna.
I mean, honestly,
he's really gonna.
He's probably more in the moment than that. I'm probably planning his next phase out for him.
Right.
But realistically, I think he just dives into whatever phase he's in, so he doesn't even think about the things he's done before and what will contradict with his current actions. But
he's in the moment.
He's exactly. He's
running
in
the moment.
He's so right-brained that he's running around going, "Yo, I'm doing Jesus sermons right now, and my wife's looking like this. I should address this. That's another thing that'll work for me. Fuck it."
But maybe there's genuine growth. Like the thing we don't know with that kind of person and that kind of power and that kind of money and that kind of. He doesn't. I won't say he has a mental disorder. I think the mental disorder is a farce for the man speaking his mind, but not trying to have any ramifications from it. So you go and say a nigga's crazy. You're going to go put him on and say he's on this meds because you just know that basically you're dealing with a time bomb.
That's
in
a quick excuse. It's a quick,
exactly.
It's a quick, that's why. Okay.
Nah, man.
You forgot to take your Xanax.
That motherfucker sane and sincere and can't really keep a cap on his mouth.
He said it on one of his records, like, yo, I don't remember the exact bar, but he's like, yo, you never seen this nigga off his Lex-Roc or some shit like that.
Nah, G, but it's like
I was like, Kanye.
It's like with the dude, I believe there's growth in this. Is it a religion move or is it a renewance in faith? Like there's difference.
It would require some serious longevity.
With the expensive merch,
like
by
religion,
the way.
Religion is different.
The merch is also.
Oh well, he's
selling
you gotta pay your tithes. You know what I mean?
Socks that say church socks.
Yeah. They actually say church socks. Like you know what I mean?
Some fool's gonna buy it, brother. You know.
Nah, a lot of people are. A lot of people are.
Hey, that's part of religion too. You know, you got a lot of followers. Following false prophets for profit. But that's something different. I might go get hit by a reverend when I leave here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But he's using that very powerful something different. He's using it. To me, I look at it like...
That's why it's so
Is
ugly
he
to so
using
many
it
people.
or we're allowing him to exploit it and we're just being pawns in it?
Is there a difference? Like
so many people exploit it.
It's just two different perspectives of the same coin. Realistically, he's doing that.
Yeah. People do it everywhere.
We're loving it and we're jumping into it.
Many people are against it, but many people are loving it. And either way, they're both working for him.
Is it a great thing for the whole Christian faith to bring new followers just for the fact of the popularity? Did it work when Mace did it?
Did it?
I don't know, but there was no social media, and and Mace is not the same star as Kanye. But
there's a lot of generational issues there too, because realistically, the younger generation rejects religion way more than the older
because of the information they
just
have
over
now.
time.
Because we feel that everything is whitewashed, so to speak. Like
the internet,
history
the
is changed.
The access of knowledge and the access of so many conflicting.
But the thing too, the internet is the backfire too, because as much knowledge as you can retrieve, you can get all the ignorant shit there by the tons, and I love the ignorant shit. I just sit there with Frosted Flakes and
you on the shade room, like
just I don't know, right? I had to honestly, brother, I had to take off certain social media feeds I was following, brother, because it was just counterproductive. I realized I'm on the toilet. I finished taking a shit, but I'm just still on the toilet. Just
5 extra minutes.
Just going extra. I'm talking 30 minutes. Then I'm just killing time. I'm not even paying attention to traffic. It's bad. I had to get off to certain things and put some more positivity reinforcements into my social feed. And that's sad for me being an adult. And
that's saying that I think that's you becoming aware of the fact that what you're consuming actually is becoming a part of you in a way. So you might as well consume more positivity because you want to be more positive.
But there was a point in my life I never even had one of these. I never needed one of these. I never, let alone a phone is just supposed to be what it was, a phone.
Hey, man.
And it was a luxury just to call anytime, anywhere. And then we text and now we do videos, we take pictures, we follow other people. You get mesmerized in other people's lifestyles and shit, and that shit's crazy. You know what I mean?
And that's going to be a great topic to delve into. But we're running short on time now. Sadly, I'm very sad.
No, that's all right.
I'm very sad.
We'll be back again.
No, we will be. No,
maybe
we
one
will
of
be.
us. I don't know. Hopefully, I can make it out here alive.
Hour and 4 minutes there. That was.
I'm not sure who's gonna come for us first. The ABC community, the church. Who else we talked about?
Hey, if anybody's coming for you, that means
homosexual rappers, cross-dressers,
and you'll be good.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, that's what it's about. And I'll close it out with thank you.
Yeah, always
for coming through, and I look forward to obviously us doing far more episodes together, and of course the production team over here, Mr. Opinionated Luke.
I like how you call me a team.
Yeah, you are. You're part of the team.
Oh, part of your team for sure, but as far as the production team,
there's an Ian Luke and the Ian team, so you know.
Well, you're doing a lot behind the scenes. You're a team within yourself. But you know what? These platforms are important because we're educated creatives, and we got to keep this going because it's the only way that we're going to be able to speak to the youth and educate them on things like code.
We speak beyond to the youth, man. You know, pops tune in,
and that's it. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to the listeners. Make sure to follow us. Myself at
follow,
Ivy.
subscribe.
Follow, subscribe at _Ivy Talks. You plug yourself.
Oh, yeah, Hollaroc, HOLLAROC. You know, on the IG. But I appreciate it, Luke. Right there, yeah. You tune into Luke over here.
Yeah.
All right.
Hollaroc.
All right, man. We out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're listening to iLive Radio.